Are you planning on racing 70.3 Belgrade in Serbia this year? Well, if so, this is the video for you. Because in it, I'm going to go through some hints, tips, talk through the actual course, and give you some hints, tips for a great race day experience. So, who am I? My name is Coach Steve. I'm an Ironman U certified coach with over 20 years experience. And more recently, I'm a YouTuber who reviews 70.3 half distance and full distance races around the world. I initially started doing this with all the races I've done, but as I ran out, I then reached out to my network of race organizers, race directors, athletes who've done courses, interviewed them, and either have them on the show or just grab their info and present it back to you guys. So you get all answer all the questions that are on your mind. So let's dive in for 70.3 Belgrade. Swim course. It is a okay. For a couple of things on the swim course, you will have a chance to practice in the lake the day before. And that we'll talk about that in the timetable at the end of the video. And also on the morning, you have a chance to warm up between 6:30 and 6:45. Do take advantage of that. It is normally a wetsuit swim, and the water is quite clear, but it's just even getting that little bit of acclimatization that will help you on race day morning. The start is a rolling swim start, which I'll demonstrate in a second, and it's from the beach. And it's a simple enough um, enter in the water straight up to one turning buoy. There will be other buoys along here to kind of keep you on track. But in terms of sighting, it's a fairly simple kind of rectangular shape. The two turning buoys here and back in. There's lots of, as you can see, stand-up paddle boards, canoes, etc. So it's a very well marshaled swim. Um, Sighting should not be an issue as long as you're swimming parallel to the coast on yeah the shore, should I say, on each side, you will be fine. Quick tip here, even though it's a rolling swim start, do maximize your ability to draft on the swim. Drafting on the swim is 100% legal. It's illegal on the bike. We'll talk about that in a sec. But that's when you swim right beside someone's hip or on their feet, and you get a bit of aerodynamic or hydrodynamic gain from that. The water is crystal clear. It is a nice sort of way to start your race in Belgrade. The swim exit again, you're running onto the beach. They had wetsuit strippers or peelers if we're from America last year, but this is always volunteer dependent. They are people who will actually help you get out of your wetsuit as you run to T1. So it's a simple enough swim. Do make sure you've practiced swimming in your wetsuit. Do make sure they've practiced covering the 1.9K in your wetsuit or in the pool, etc. Make sure that you're comfortable covering this distance. When you get into the water, and I'll talk about that shortly, you have 1 hour and 10 minutes to hit the timing mat here. There's a time mat there, time mat here. So how does the start work for your swim? Ironman, in the last 5 years, have put in place what they call a rolling or a seeded swim start. So when you turn up on race day morning, you will be put in corrals or pens, and you self-seed. And there will be numbers on them with big yellow writing, under 30 minutes, under 30 to 35 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes. That is your estimated time to swim the course. And by putting yourself in the right corral, so if you are a 2 minute per 100 swimmer, you should go really should be going in the 35 to 40 minute corral. It means you can swim at the back. You'll be around swimmers of your own ability. And more importantly, because they release the stronger swimmers in first, and this is how it literally works. You will have, this is not Belgrade, but this is a picture from an American race, but it's a really good drone shot that gives me a way to talk through it. There will be gates that will hold you. There'll be the volunteers here. Say thank you. They've given up their day for you. There'll be an audible beep every 5, 6 seconds, depends on how the race day guy sets it up. And they'll let in between 3 to 5 swimmers at a time. These guys are in, they're off at the races. These guys are waiting patiently in line. So when the beep goes, volunteers raise their hands and then you go in. So if you seed yourself correctly, the faster swimmers, or the fish as I like to call them, will go in first and they will get all the clean water and off they go. But if you're sort of a normal swimmer like myself and you want to be around kind of your people of your level and able to draft, you'll be fed in those groupings. So please do seed yourself accordingly. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm a really poor swimmer, I'm close to the cutoff, I'll put myself in the 30-minute corral. Don't. What'll happen there is you'll get swam over by stronger swimmers, and they because they know you're not meant to be there, um, and you'll lose the ability to draft. Your time only starts when you pass this mat here, so you're not even getting yourself any additional benefit from it. So seed yourself correctly. Talk to people in the crowd. What are you expecting to do? Oh, 50 minutes. Okay, cool. Let's swim together, etc. Set yourself up for a good day. Now moving on. Something I'm going to talk through here. If you're new to Ironman racing, they operate specifically and particularly in Ironman races in Europe, 70.3s, what they call a clean transition. A clean transition means that it's not like your local domestic race where you put everything beside your bike in T1 and you have your helmet there and your runners there, etc. And you just get to that point and you transition there. What Ironman does is they have a bag system. You'll have a blue bag that is your swim to bike bag, and you'll have a red bag, that's your bike to run bag. And there's a part in the transition flow, which I'll talk to in a second, which actually means that you have to run past those bags and get your stuff from them. For example, when you're coming out of the water, you will take out your helmet, your sunglasses, or your bike shoes, or whatever you want, and put them on whatever else you have, and you'll put them on, and you'll put your wetsuit in this blue bag, and you'll put it back up on a rack. It actually is a lot simpler than it sounds. And I've actually and it's just a case of two things you'll need to know: what goes in which bag, and where do you hang it, and where will it be part of transition flow. And this is the video in the comments below talks through what you put in the bag, and we're going to talk a little bit about the flow. Okay, so this is the transition area for Belgrade, and good news is it's a single transition. That means your transition one, going from swim to bike, is the same as your transition two, going from bike to run. Means you only have to put all your stuff in one place, and it's a simple enough flow. So after you have smashed your 1.9K swim, you'll be coming out this blue line. And by the way, quick tip, when you're racking your bike and putting your bags in place the day before on the Saturday, I'll talk about the schedule at the end of the video, that walk this, kind of go, okay, where am I going to? I'll be running out here, walk it very slowly. You will be given your bib number as you register. They tend to print them off, and therefore you'll know. And then the racks are numbered, so number 100 might be here, etc. So you'll know where your bike goes. You know for T where you pick it up in T1, and you'll know where you put it back in T2. Top tip: if you want to be beside all your pals and your club mates and your training partners, register at the same time, because what they do is they print off the numbers in sequence now, and it means that you will be, if your friend is behind you, they'll get 101, the other guy will 102, and you all be in the same area and can kind of talk to each other and transition afterwards. And you can see whether they're ahead of you on the bike or run. But anyhow, walk. Top tip: when you're checking in your bike and your bags, make sure you walk and you go, okay, this is where I'm going to run. This is how I come out. There's the mount line. There's where the red bags, the blue bags will be. And usually, if you have a smartphone, take pictures of it and write it all down, because in the heat of battle, when you're coming out of the swim, you're full of adrenaline. You're kind of lots of people are shouting your name. It's easy to run past where your bike is. But if you've written down, I'm number 100, and that is actually just right in line with this tent here. So if I run to that tent here, that's where my bike is. And again, when you're coming back in. So know your ins and outs and walk it, take notes, be methodical, because it will help you when you're in the rush and wanting to really go, go, go on the day of the race itself. But the transition flow itself will be simple. As I said, the blue line is where you're coming from the swim. These are where the blue bags and the red bags will be hung up on racks. That means that you will have, and again, these are numbered. Again, if you're number 100, let's say, for example, that might be just there. You will go for your run. You'll be taking your wetsuit off. Top tip: take the wetsuit off as you come along. Save yourself some time. Get the wetsuit off. Take out your helmet. Put your helmet on. Clip it. Don't because you can't touch your bike until you've done that. Get your kit on. If it's going to be cold, put on a jacket, etc. Whatever you've got in your blue bag, and then dump your wetsuit in there and your goggles, and then hang it up. And then you run towards your bike, which will be along here and out here for the bike exit. Do take your time in T1. It's a little faster in T2, and we'll talk about that. But T1, make sure you got stuff together, your helmet's on, because you can end up a penalty if you touch your bike without your helmet clipped in. Make sure your nutrition's solid. Make sure you've got your bike computer switched on, etc. as you're going, etc. And you've got a long bike ahead of you. Make sure you set yourself up. But off we go. Okay, I hope you're enjoying the tips. Please give it a thumbs up if you are. And also, if you are interested in other races, etc., or other Ironman training tips, etc., please subscribe to the channel. I put up content mainly around race reviews, but there's other stuff about nutrition, kind of pacing, equipment reviews, etc., on my channel. That's very useful and it helps me. Thank you. Okay, the bike course on in Belgrade is flat and fast. The road surface is pristine, very smooth. It is a two-lap course, where you will have where you will start here and come out. There's very limited turns. There's this turn here, and there's a U-turn here. But you are doing this course, this loop twice. It is flat, as you can see from our profile here in Strava. These little bumps, they're not even anything to talk about. It's flat and fast. So definitely, if you have it, it's a TT bike course. It is, and if you have aero wheels as well, there wasn't much wind to speak of in 2025. Was it last year's edition? So if you've got a TT bike and you've got a deep disc wheel and deep section wheels, very much consider bringing it. Um, it is closed roads, so again, it's nice and safe. The only kind of curiosity about this, it's a little bit different to how other Ironman courses will set up. They normally have aid stations along the route. They was it in 70.3 Belgrade. It's just at the U-turn here. There's one aid station there, and here. So you're going to pass these aid stations three times in uh, what you call it, your two-lap course, which is fine. Again, just plan that into your nutrition strategy. And also do remember, um, it's flat and fast. That means you'll be turning your legs fairly rapidly and you will be burning a lot of calories. So build that into your nutrition strategy and your pacing strategy. Also, they apparently only give out water and ESO rather than typically the other Ironman stations give out energy gels and bars. I was quite surprised at that. That might be something that they just have underreported on the athlete guide. Anyhow, it is a flat, fast course. It is so do keep an eye on your fueling. Do keep an eye on your pacing. Make sure if you're within your sort of whatever target zones, etc., and don't exceed it. And don't chase other people races. And I will suspect that there'll be a lot of kind of packs in this because it's flat and fast and it's a two-lap course. Just keep your nose clean. Stay out of the drafting packs as you can. Otherwise, you'll end up with a yellow card and a penalty and a time penalty. So it is, as I said, it's a flat course, but even still, you've got 5 hours and 30 minutes to get it done. There are intermediate cutoff times as well. Do make sure you're aware of them. They are reported in the athlete guide. Um, moving, just talk a little bit about aid stations. Now, aid stations are what I call high risk and high reward, as in you do need to build them in to make sure that you have enough fuel and enough hydration on the course. This is the typical flow of an Ironman aid station. Now, I will question whether or not they do or not have the gels and fruits. I will be very surprised if they don't, but this is what a typical one is. And two things I want to point out. There's a trash zone at the start and the end. So this is the only place on the course where you can drop litters, was it discard bottles, energy gels, banana peels, whatever it is. If you throw it elsewhere, you'll get spotted by a marshal and you will probably get disqualified, which is a really dumb way to do it. So respect the rules of Ironman. Respect was their desire to keep Belgrade nice and tidy during this race. You will get bottles handed out in 750 ml bottles that fit into a standard bottle cage. They will, I believe, have precision hydration as well on course. This tends to be the European ISO drink. So in terms of how an aid station works, it's around 400 meters long. It has a number of tables, a number of volunteers that will step out and they will hand you the bottle, which you grab. Typically, while moving, you can slow down and stop, but it's not advisable because there's other athletes coming behind you. Um, so that's where the risk element I talked about. So A, you can throw bottles. B, there's volunteers stepping out. C, there is other cyclists moving in and out. So it's lots of moving parts, and it's the place where if you're not paying attention and communicating to your other athletes, you can end up having an accident that will end your race. So some top tips: know what the aid stations are, know where you're going to be slowing down, communicate to the other fellow athletes. I'm going into the aid station, I'm going for a bottle. Make sure you're looking and don't just suddenly veer in and take out another rider. Then and also communicate with the volunteers. Make eye contact. I'm looking for water. I'm looking for ESO, etc. Slow down, secure the bottle, and put it into your bottle cage, and out you go. And again, communicate you're coming out. So it's all about A, being situation aware, B, communication, and C, just doing it at the right pace. Do not try to go through this at 30k an hour. All you do is knock bottles out of the way, put more bottles on the course that will potentially cause an accident. Take your time and make sure you know what you're going to have, and 100% check whether it will have gels or food in it. It's unusual. Okay, so as I said, high risk, high reward. It's a very simple thing to practice, and there's some other do's and don'ts I talked through in this video in the comments below about how to use Ironman aid stations. Just make sure you check it out. It's a short video, very, very useful. Okay, so we're now back to our T1. So we've done our bike and we're feeling super. We've got a banked a PB split, and we will be coming in on the bike. This will be where the dismount line will be. The dismount line is where you have to fully stop your bike and get off the bike before you can actually run with it. And then you run into transition, you run back to the same place where you retrieved your bike in T1, and you will have walked the opposite direction. And when you're doing your nose, your ins and outs on your course recce the day before, you'll rack your bike. Only then can you take your helmet off. Okay. Take your helmet off, and then you'll run back. And this is where you will pick up your red bag, which you will be putting your helmet and any other cycling elements you want to discard. And into that red bag, you'll be taking out your runners, you'll be taking out your hat, your visor, whatever else you want and that you have in your bag. Again, check out the video what goes into the red bag. It'll help you as well. In terms of my tips for T1, T2. T2 is always faster than T1 because you've less to mess around with. You're not getting a wetsuit off. Once you've racked the bike, you can move. You can also move the minute you've got your runners on. So if you want to put a hat on, put that on last, but put it on as you're jogging out towards the run exit, which is here. So the you my top tip, as I said, just do things in motion once you've got your runners on, because nothing good happens in T2. If you sit down, start stretching your legs, you start talking to some guy in transition about how fast the bike's supposed to, you're just wasting time, and your muscles will kind of cramp up. Get moving. So even if it's just walking, if you've got your bag here and you've got your runners on, and then you start walking towards a run exit and you're taking a gel on board, putting your hat on, putting your sunglasses, you've already walked 200 to 300 meters towards the end of the finish line, which is here and which we're really, really looking forward to. So get in, get out. That's my top tip for T1. T2. Okay, run course is was it asphalt, and it's very nice and flat. There's a fair amount of turns, as you can see. Um, we so we are heading out to two-lap course, and we have a couple of turning points here. This is the where we start out, and we head out back. There's a number of aid stations on both sides of the course here, where you will have lots of the same amount of fuel and options on board. You will have gels, you will have Coke, etc. There'll be a bit more there, and do take advantage of these run stations. They will allow you to take on board and fuel you for the rest of the run. It it is flat and fast. There's great support as well on the run. They did have a bit of a rainy day last year, so but even still, the crowds came out to support. It's a simple enough two-lap course. There's no hills on it to of note. I would recommend as you're going out, you break the course into kind of three mental loops of 7K each. So that means first kind of loop, you're just kind of finding your legs, you're getting yourself together. Second loop, you're sort of building to your race pace and make sure you're really hitting that. Third loop, and you're just kind of digging in and making sure you get there. Aid stations, there's one kind of every kind of 2 kilometers, and make sure you take advantage of them. It is dun, dun, dun. As I said, there's a couple of turns in it, but nothing really to write home about. It's well marshaled and it's well marked out, and it should hopefully add up for a PB bike course, a PB overall course for you because the bike is flat and fast, the run is flat, and if you've fueled well and paced well, you should hopefully come in well under the 8 hours and 30 minutes cutoff and hit this finish line here. Um, so we will have the just in terms of the actual um event timetable. You can register on Friday between 12 and 6 p.m. You also can register on Saturday between 10 and 4 p.m. There is an athlete briefing on the Saturday between 9 and sorry, at 7 p.m. Make sure you attend these. This video is meant to help as a little bit of a preamble, but the things can happen last minute that you definitely want to make sure that you've covered. That the organizers sometimes weather requires last minute changes, etc. So do read the athlete guide, do read do attend an athlete briefing. And it's important that in case you just cover any last minute changes. Saturday, you have to drop your bike and your bag, the bike and your bag drop off your blue and your red bag. And that's when you pick up your timing chip. Ironman only really give out the timing chip once you've checked in your bike. That allows them to realize that if people are just picking up the bag, they don't have to worry about getting the timing chip. If you're checking in your bike, you're serious. There is, as I said, a practice swim in the lake at between 3 and 3:45. Make sure you take advantage of that. It gives you a little bit of chance to see the sighting and to check the water quality, which is lovely, and but nothing really we always take advantage of a little bit of acclimatization. Race morning, transition opens at 5:30. My advice there is get there early, get yourself set up, check your bike, put on your bike computer to put on your nutrition on your bike and that in the morning rather than leave it on overnight because things can get knocked off, things can get food attracts critters, etc. We don't want that. And get there early in case anything goes wrong, you've got time to fix. You also have the option of a warm-up swim between 6:30 and 6:45. Again, to take that advantage of that, it just gets the water down the wetsuit. You kind of feel, okay, that so you're not going, even when you're running the beach start, it's not going to be a big shock. It helps. Rolling start 7 a.m. and you have off for a nice PB course in Belgrade. Okay, guys, I hope you have found that useful. If you do, please post further questions and all the rest. Make sure you post them in the comments on the YouTube channel. I tend to regularly check these and feedback, and I'm always happy to help. Otherwise, I really hope you have a fantastic race in Belgrade. Let us know in the comments how you got on. Was it a course you'd recommend? Because this also helps other athletes who are considering this course and also helps get the word out that these reviews are useful. So have a super day. Remember, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next review.